In Second Corinthians 1 and 3 and 4, it reminds us that God comforts us every time we have trouble so that when others have trouble, we can comfort them with the same comfort that God gives us. Well, have you ever thought that you can love others through their pain? You know, how can Christians encourage and support someone when you are struggling yourself? Well, let's look at that a little bit and try and answer this. First off, don't try to answer why in the midst of the crisis. In John chapter 9, when the disciples saw a man who was born blind, they started asking, why? Why did this man sin, or did his parents sin? They wanted to start assigning blame for the problem. You see, when you start assigning blame or, putting some biblical knowledge or something like that in the midst of your pain, you're only going to come across as cold and heartless. Even Jesus didn't answer why. He just displayed love and compassion, and he confronted the pain and just simply healed the man. That's what we need to do in the midst of a crisis. Just simply be there and bring the healing love of God. The second thing to do is show up and just be simply present. Be there in the midst of the pain. When those questions of why appear, respond with, I don't know. When somebody asks me a question, why did this happen to me? I don't know sometimes why the bad things happen to us. We don't know. We don't have God's full understanding sometimes when some people have lived a normal, healthy life and get these dreaded things like cancer and stuff like that, and somebody that smoked like a chimney all their life didn't live a full life. We don't know why. We don't know why these things happen. Hopefully, we can see the love of God in you and love you through the pain. That's the problem that a lot of people don't do. We just don't want to love people through the pain. We want to find out why. We want to assign blame. Love the person in the midst of what they're going through. That's what we need to do. The third thing we need to do is offer to pray for them. Have you ever known anybody that's going through a bad time in their life that ever didn't want to be prayed for? This includes that. I mean, I've known people that have been atheists and agnostics and even those practicing other religions that never refuse to be prayed for. Start by admitting your confusion to the why questions, and then just ask God, we don't know why this is going on, and we're just asking for comfort. We just ask for strength. We just ask for peace in the midst of this crisis. And we just ask for healing. That's your prayers don't need to be these long flowery things with these and thous. Speak normal. And then the fourth thing we need to do is offer encouragement. Be open to the leading of the Holy Spirit. Years ago, I want to share with you something that was given to me, a piece of encouragement that I wrote down. This was given to me back in 1998 by a lady named Kristen. She says, sometimes we listen for God in the wrong places or at the wrong times, or expect different answers than the ones we receive. Hold fast and strong and don't lose faith. She never, when I told her about this, I used it in a sermon and a sermon message months later. And I told her about it. She says, I'd like to know about it or read about it or whatever. So I gave her a copy of what I had, wrote down and stuff. And she says, I never knew I said that to you. And I said, that was God speaking through you. She admitted to me she never went to church. You know, sometimes you can be used, whether you know it or not, to speak to somebody. Offer encouragement. Be open to encouraging somebody else, because you never know whether your words of encouragement are what somebody needs. You know, it's always a good idea to follow the lead of what they're asking for. You know, sometimes you don't know what to say. A lot of times, all you got to do is be present and say, you know, I don't know what to say in the midst of this situation, but, you know, I'm here for you and I'm ready to pray for you in whatever it is that you're going through. And I'm ready to be there every step of the way with you. A lot of times, that's all a lot of people ever need to hear. Now, I hope this little message has encouraged you, and I hope that as we move forward in our faith, that we can walk together and encourage one another.